10th podcast. I am the greatest host in the world, TrX SoLuTiOnZ. And we have with us today some great people.
That is the worst way to introduce. I'm Censorious. I'm the content manager at SRM Gaming.
And it is I, once again, Sir Malid, COD team manager for us here at SRM Gaming.
Yeah, we're back.
Now that sounded like that was worse than a Ben Stein commercial.
I don't know what that is, but it sounded funny.
Yeah, same. Ben Stein just sounds like a funny name.
I know Billy
Time
Mays.
You guys have never watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, I've watched
No.
her. Oh, I've watched part of
Ben
it.
Stein is the teacher who's always like Bueller.
Oh,
I think I've seen that. Ferris Bueller. Oh yeah.
my teachers always used to make jokes about that in high school because we had twins whose last name was Bueller. So you'd be like Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Bueller.
Yeah, he's just a monotone dude. Like, he speaks in one tone all the time. There's no excitement, nothing in his voice.
That's my life.
So annoying.
Yep, that's about right.
Yeah.
That's about right. That's about right. Oh
So,
man.
I believe.
So, what you guys do today so far before our podcast?
Work on the YouTube channel, man. I made a video. I made it last night, and then like half of it was broken, so I went in this morning and I fixed it.
Nice. I seen the introduction video. So
Yeah, this new video is like a commentary video. I think it'll be up at 4 Eastern tomorrow, because we wanted the podcast to be up today, and then that video will be up tomorrow. It's basically I talk about just why games are growing so much and why they have been growing over the past couple years.
why they will continue to grow. It's kind of what we're going to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah, I think it's 15, 16 minute video. I mean, it's a lot, but
Yeah,
I go in depth into it.
That's pretty good. I mean, I usually, like, honestly, if I see a video and it's like 3 minutes long, I probably don't even watch it.
Yeah,
Depending on
same.
what the content of the video is. If it's 10 to 16 minutes, I'll definitely watch it because that lets me know it's either going to be in depth or there's going to be like some good clips in the background or something that's going to intrigue me in that video. Hopefully, no.
There's definitely no good clips. It's all
There's no good clips. It's my gameplay. There's no good clips. Trust me. But there is actually there is a clip that I got this morning. That is a pretty good clip, to be honest with you. It's not amazing. It's a Black Ops 3 clip, but it's a good clip.
At around 7 minutes, he gets laid out by someone that you can clearly see that he didn't notice. Just watch for that.
No. Okay. Here's what happened. I was playing on Combine, and Mallet, I'm guessing you know about Black Ops 3 and stuff, but I was playing on Combine, and I go into that little, you can jump in that like window thing.
Yeah.
I jump into that, and there's some guy with a KRM sitting in the corner right next to it, so I don't see him, so he just blasts me, and I die, and I was really upset.
You saw him go into the corner.
No, I didn't see him go in the corner.
And you could see him out in the corner of your screen when you went through the window. Come on, man.
Dude, okay, I'm
This is
sorry.
why you're not on the pro team.
This
Listen,
is okay.
Peripheral vision isn't that great on a TV screen, you know? Like,
Yeah, fam. I'm getting a monitor for Christmas, so cut me some slack, all right?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, actually, no, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. But the video is supposed to be pretty good. I think it is pretty good. I don't know. TrX saw it and he said it sucked, but that means
I
it was
did
good.
not say that. I said I actually am the only person that said it was great.
Yeah. Squish, he obviously told me what to fix it, so that was really good. I don't like people like TrX who are like, oh, it's good, when it was like terrible.
No, the first black part was okay. Because it
the
wasn't
second
that long,
one
and it was artsy. The second one was pretty
was for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't been on the YouTube because I was doing some adulting stuff today.
Oh, that sounds boring.
7, yeah, can't be a kid 24/7. I wish we all could, but we can't.
Yeah, me too.
I'm still drinking my morning coffee, so that tells you
Oh
how my
my
day's gone.
goodness.
You know
Yeah.
what? I don't even want to hear about that because my girlfriend like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good. Can you get me some coffee?" And she's like, "But I don't want to go to the store."
I can't drink coffee, man. I can't.
I
just
wouldn't
can't
call
do
what
it.
I drink coffee. It's more like sugar water with caffeine.
That's
See, that's
soda.
me. I put like at least an eighth or 16th to an eighth of sugar in my cup of what
Oh
the
my
actual cup
goodness.
size.
Yeah,
I don't believe in like 5 teaspoons. I believe in like 5 big rice spoons, spaghetti
yeah,
size.
that's pretty much what I do.
Oh my god.
You ever seen those Looney Tune cartoons with Bugs Bunny when he's like 1 or 2 lumps and he's like give me 5? That's me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just Looney Tunes.
But I blame that on society for feeding us junk food when we were growing up. Everything contained sugar.
Yeah, everything has sugar. Everything has sugar, dude.
Even fruits have sugar.
Well, yeah, but those are healthy sugars.
Yeah, natural sugars and high fructose corn syrup are 2 different things.
Yeah.
One of them tastes better.
No. High fructose corn syrup's like gum. You can't digest it.
Nah, it's okay.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's non-digestible because it's a liquid. You pass it through your body with no problem.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
That's why I stopped drinking soda.
Yeah,
I need to stop.
I only drink soda like probably once a week.
I need to stop.
Or
You
as a
guys need to
mixer.
help me.
Dude, literally, I stopped
Oh my
drinking
God.
soda. And because I stopped drinking just soda, I lost like 10 pounds.
Same.
I know. I need to stop. But I want to gain weight though. That's the thing.
Why do you want to gain weight? Oh, do you want to gain muscle?
Yes, I want to gain muscle. No,
Okay.
I'm planning on getting fat.
Well, I'm sorry. That's kind of what it's happening.
Gaining weight and gaining mass are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to gain mass. I'm sorry. I'm not.
You got to get
I'm
those
not a
gains.
professional. Okay. Yeah, I do need to.
You gotta eat those proteins, steak and eggs in the morning.
Dude, I actually do eat a lot of protein. Like I eat a lot of meat. Like I realize
A lot
that.
of rice and chicken at
know.
night.
I know, dude. Dude, my mom makes a lot of like chicken and rice casserole. Dude, it's so good. I'm like 16, so I can eat about anything, and for a huge amount. So I get like 8 plates of it, dude. It's great.
I'm excited.
Not 8
for
plates.
tonight.
I'm Puerto Rican. Rice is in everything we make, so.
Yeah, not for us. Not for us. We I don't know. A lot of things that we eat a lot of chicken. That's one thing that we eat a lot of.
See, I had no choice. Like growing up, my mom, she can't eat red meat, so we just ate a lot of chicken. So I know how to cook chicken like 10 million different ways.
We eat a lot of chicken, steak if it's fancy day or something. It really just depends.
Yeah, our family's pretty big on beef. That's what we eat a lot of. Beef and rice.
Yeah, I was the same way. I used to eat a lot of beef, but then I was just like, I'll just only eat beef when I'm eating burgers or spaghetti, I guess, because I eat that a lot. I eat burgers and spaghetti.
Yeah, I don't eat beef that much. Really, I guess.
I'm not eating a lot of red meat. But I have a weakness for pork. It's just kind of hard to say.
Pork's so good.
Pork is pretty good.
I was watching some Gordon Ramsay stuff. And there's this chef that hey, shut up. There was this chef that couldn't taste the difference between pork, chicken, and beef. Like I could do that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He blindfolded him, fed him a piece of meat, and said, "What is this?" And it was pork, and he said beef.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's like being fed a pig. And actually, no, that is being fed a pig.
Yes.
And asking, yeah, I was like, wow. Being fed a pig and asking if it's a cow or saying it's a cow.
That's exactly what it is.
That's
yeah,
exactly
I know. I just realized it.
Hey, Rob.
This is a bad analogy. What's up, Rob? Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he is. Don't send me another email.
We don't talk about that on here.
Nobody knows what the email's about.
That's in the past. That's in the past.
It's in the past, man. It's in the past. It's in the past, dude. Come on.
Rob,
So
me and Censorious are here. What do you mean, no troublemakers?
that's us.
Yeah, I think I'm Mr. Nice Guy for this podcast, I guess.
Malid, you're Mr. Never Here.
He is here. What are you talking about?
Well,
I'm
I meant
old here.
not on the podcast. I meant like never anywhere else.
Oh,
Always
he's always
disappearing
here.
on us.
A little bit. Sometimes. Very rarely. But
I
I'm on
can't say
Mallet's
all-
side.
You know, like sometimes I'm in a conversation that disappear because I'm busy doing stuff. You know, unlike
Yeah.
some of you, because I'm actually a grown adult, I have other adulting stuff to do.
Big
Yeah, he's got
you.
bills.
I'm an adult.
Tricks. No, you're not. You're not an adult.
I'm an
What
adult.
was it?
No,
What was
you're
it?
not.
Ricky said the other day he was on a general chat and he was like he thinks he's the oldest person in our org.
Yeah,
Right? How old is he?
I think
33,
I thought he was like. I thought he said 37.
37. That sounds better. I don't know. I was just guessing.
I think he told me that at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I only
no
asked
idea.
because I'm 37 myself.
Oh my goodness.
Cold
realize
says
that.
Navy's 31.
So I guess I'm the
31.
oldest person in our org now.
Ooh. 31 and 37 aren't even old though.
True.
But listen,
Like it's really not old.
face to face, you would never think I'm 37. And then after I
Yeah,
shave, like I'll shave and go to the store, and people still ID me and swear like I'm 19.
Yeah, because like your picture, you don't look like you're 37 at all. I mean, you look, like an actual. I mean, you look like an adult, but you don't look, 37. You look good, Mallet. You look good for your age. You look very good.
Thank you, sir.
Sexy.
You're
Someone
welcome.
was like,
Okay.
someone's like, you look like you're 27. I was like, thank you. 10 years younger. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah. And they were like, you don't look 30.
Yeah, you don't really. I mean, you don't look 30 at all.
I wish I looked older.
Nah,
Like-
fam.
Don't ever say that again. I wish.
Yeah.
I tell people like, and people are like, all right, so if you can go back in time and like be stuck at an age, what age do you choose? I'm like 17.
Why 17?
Because at 17, the only people that you are kind of like responsible and like telling where you're going and stuff is like your parents, your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
However, at the age of 17, they feel you're responsible enough to where you can go out and do whatever you want, come home at whatever time you can, and everything's okay and cool, right? 'Cause you're
Yeah.
17. The only bad side is you can't drink. I don't drink much, so it doesn't even matter. Like
17-year-olds
so at the age
drink,
of
fam.
17, you have your own job, right? I mean, they do illegally, but you know what I mean. Like that's
Yeah.
illegal. You don't talk about stuff like that. This is a family podcast.
Right. Sorry. I apologize to the families out there. I apologize.
So like check it out. Like at 17, you're responsible enough to be treated as an adult, but yet you're too young to be an adult. You have your own job, so you make your own money. You barely pay any bills, so all the money you go is to yourself. It sounds kind of selfish, but hey, you're 17, right? That's where you're supposed to be. So you kind of have responsibilities, but your responsibilities aren't major ones because you still don't have to pay rent or pay any bills. Unless you decide to leave your parents' house.
I can't wait till I leave my parents' house.
I don't want to leave my parents' house.
Oh, dude,
I left
that's
my
gonna be a
parents' house
great
when
day.
I was 17, so I know how it is.
I left my parents' house for like 2 years.
It was
then I'm
great.
back. It was
It was
good
crazy. I moved out of my parents' house, and then I lost my apartment when I was like 21. Moved in for like 2 weeks, and my mom was like, "So where are you moving to?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be moving out." And then she was like, "So where?" And I was like, "Arizona." And she was like, "What?" She was like, "I said you have to move out the house. I didn't say you have to move out the state." I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the other side of the country."
Dang. Oh,
I gave like everybody a 2 weeks notice, my whole neighborhood, my job. Like it was just a out of nowhere move kind of thing. That was the best. I mean, it was fun to me at the time.
Dude, I'm scared to move out.
Moving out isn't really that scary. You just got to learn how to pay bills.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to do. That's the thing. Like
The goal is just never be late on your bills. It's that simple.
I know.
Never be late. As long as you pay your bills on time, you will always have money to do the things that you want to do because you paid your bills.
I know. I gotta get that good credit score. I know. I gotta get that credit score.
Easy way to get credit score: get a credit card. Only use it for gas.
That makes sense.
That's a very easy way to get your credit score
Well,
up.
you're 16, so I mean, you can do it through your bank. Like if you have a bank account, your bank will help you build your credit score if you wanted to, without having to get a credit card.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every bank has a financial advisor that you can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, but like, I don't have an account, but I think I'm getting one like here soon. But I'm getting one at a credit union probably.
Then that's great too, because they can give you what's called a secured credit card, to where like you put your own funds into it. So let's say you put like $500 into it, and that's your limit. It's $500. So you can only spend that much, knowing that you can't ever go over, and then you just keep, like replenishing the card. It's kind of like a prepaid card, but it's a credit card from your credit union, and it helps you to build your credit without you ever having to go over your limit because you put in what your limit is.
Yeah, I need to do that. My brother got a credit card like 6 months ago, and I think he got I think he has like a 680, 690 just from having credit card from a couple months and paying his bills on time and stuff. So, I mean, I need to get on that soon. But I don't know. Do you have to be 18 to get a credit card? That's what I thought. I'm not really sure.
I think so.
You have to be 18 to get a credit card, but like I said, like if you're working with a credit union, they have like accounts for minors.
Yeah.
That work towards that, because you're 16, so it's a little different. Like a lot of things have changed, and since I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, you couldn't even get a bank account at all, even if you were 16 or 17. So like now it's a little different. They have like junior accounts, junior checking accounts now. Right. You can get one of those, and it helps you to build your credit so that when you become 18, you don't start at a flat rate of like 0 or whatever. You know what I mean? You don't start with a good or bad score. You just start like in limbo. Like, but when you already have a junior checking account and you're working towards that credit, it kind of builds up. You start at a higher pace than everybody else. You already built up that good credit.
I need to do that because my state, North Carolina, it's either that or my school county. You need to we had to take this like financial course online thing, and my dad always talks about credit scores and stuff. So I need to start that soon. I need to look into that. What is it? What'd you say that card was called? A secured credit card? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Rob put something in chat that he says works.
Let me see this.
Have your parents add you as an authorized user to their card, but never use the card.
Yeah. Does that work? I mean, Rob does live in Canada, so we don't know.
Oh, it's true.
I mean, all right. So let's say here you're assigned as an authorized user to the card. You'll be able to use the card. However, if your parents have bad credit, it's detrimental to your credit.
He heard it from an American called Nate.
It works both ways. It works both ways. If your parents have bad credit, it'll negatively reflect against you.
Well, I can't do that.
No, they don't. Yeah, my parents have like a 7. I mean, they're in the 700s. They have good credit.
I used to work collections for the Home Depot, so I know how all of that works.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you. You might be my financial advisor and get a card, just so you know. So I get an account. You're gonna help me out.
I wouldn't go that far.
I got
$100.
I got knowledge. I'm not an expert.
All right.
I got my debit card when I was like 15.
I need to get a debit card. I need to start working, but dude, I got stuff to do, man.
True, I feel.
I got stuff, I gotta do.
See, I don't feel like I never have enough time in the day to do what I need to do.
I do. Like Loki.
Don't brag. Golden, don't brag.
What did he say?
I've had a debit card since I was 10.
Oh, yeah, it probably had like an $8 million limit on it.
Gosh darn. SRM.
Yeah, you guys are spoiled over there.
Hey Colton, can you put my picture up on the screen?
Oh no, there is no limit. Oh right. Oh well, obviously, but
Wait a minute. Are we talking about an actual picture of TrX, or is this just like a logo or something?
No.
You don't want to know.
Did you not see it?
I know.
You don't want to know. You don't want to.
You're gonna have to put it in the podcast chat. If it's an actual picture of him,
It's not.
He's like, no. Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Oh, Colton won't do it.
Yeah, SRM, y'all got to be boiled up there.
It's gladiator mentality, yo.
It is. Bro, like, I'm really... Okay.
You really what?
I'm so confused.
About what?
I don't know. We just started talking about credit, and I just got really nervous. Like, what if I don't have good credit, man? Like,
bro, you have no credit right now.
I know. That's bad.
That's where you're at. But it's good to be where you're at. You know what I mean? Because once you get that credit, it's so hard to get the good credit. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Hey, Scott.
That's where I'm at.
What's up, Scott? Yeah, I think we'll be all right. I think I'll be all right. Y'all are gonna help me out. I know SRM Gaming's gonna help me out. By help me out, I mean help me out with my mental breakdowns I get from crying and stuff over all of this.
Oh,
I mean, if it doesn't work out here in America, you can always move to Canada. They'll help you out there too.
True.
Yeah, SRM.
You get free healthcare up there.
Yeah, but your taxes are like 95% of your paycheck, so
true.
That is tough,
Hey,
man.
listen, there's a bunch of things that are good and bad about both. I'd go to Canada. I'm just saying.
I'd
go to Canada too.
I'd go to like Australia just to make it different.
I get sick a lot.
I'd go to like China. No, I would not go to China. Never mind. Let's go to
I would live in the Moondong Mountains of China by myself, like in some little hut, if I could.
Malid, I think that's only in the movies. I don't think that's real.
Me and my friend are going to be Shaolin monks.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
I literally was gonna, at the age of 13, I was gonna emancipate myself and force my parents to sign away their guardianship so I can go to China and be a Shaolin monk.
Oh my god.
I'm dead. That's a 100% true story. Like I'm not lying.
Wow. Wow.
Me and my friend have plans to become vigilantes.
Oh yeah? Are you training for that?
What?
Dude, let me know when. I got some things, just let me know when. That's all I'm saying. But we'll talk everything out. I'm not saying nothing on airways. Just let me know when.
I'll say stuff on airways. So it's not illegal to be a vigilante, but all the things vigilantes do is illegal.
Like what?
That is incorrect.
No, I looked it up. There's nothing against being a vigilante because there actually are vigilante groups, but they know the laws.
You said what vigilantes do is illegal. That is incorrect.
When
they actually break the law is when it's illegal.
Right.
A vigilante doesn't have to be forceful or have to be negative in any way in how they attain or detain a person.
That's true. He's got a good point.
There is one guy. There's a real vigilante. I forgot his name. I'm trying to find it.
Maybe Batman. That's probably who you're thinking of.
No. There's an actual vigilante guy, and he has a costume and everything. And it's awesome.
Vigilante.
Is it the guy who? There's really a guy in, I think it's Detroit or Chicago. He rides a bike and wears a mask and pulls people over for doing traffic violations in his city.
Wow.
He used to put it on Twitter, and then I think Twitter banned his account for it. But he used to roam the streets at nighttime and like pull people over. And then one time he pulled over a cop because a cop had a missing headlight on his car.
Hey,
I was like,
mean,
wow.
He can do that.
You can do that. You know that
that's legal there.
Yeah,
that's legal there.
So if a police officer's car doesn't have a headlight, you're supposed to tell them because they can get in trouble. Like if they're driving that car with a broken headlight, literally another cop can pull them over and report them to their boss, and they're going to get in trouble and get written up, and it's going to be a mark on their jacket because they drove a police car with a broken headlight. So it's detrimental literally to their job to be driving a car with a broken headlight or a broken taillight.
I know.
Because they're the ones who are going to pull you over for the same offense. So it's, if I'm going to enforce the law, I got to be the one following the law. So they have to always make sure their cars get inspected every day before they go out.
Every day?
So
really? Isn't that often?
Every day. Because you don't get the same car every day.
Oh, true.
You got to
that makes
inspect your
sense.
car every day. It's like bus drivers. Bus drivers inspect their vehicles every day before they go out because they don't get the same bus every day.
Cops get the same car.
Bus drivers get the same.
Cops don't always get the same squad car.
What type of buses are you talking about?
Definitely do.
Well, I don't know how big is your precincts over there, but I know in New York City you don't get the same squad car. In Tucson, they don't get the same squad car.
Random, real quick. In 2009, police warned against vigilantism in wake of bow and arrow incident. So arrow's real.
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! Thank you guys for coming out to this week. No, I'm just playing.
How does everybody feel about Spider-Man?
All right, get out. We're not talking about it. I have been on here since week 5.
I gotta keep the meme alive.
And ever since then,
as soon as he mentioned Arrow, I was like, I bet you he's gonna segue this into the final DLC that's for Spider-Man, which I'm glad it's the final DLC because then after he's done with that, we probably won't hear Spider-Man for a while.
I'm deleting the game after it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
What is it again? Silver Wind?
Silver
Lining, I think.
I already have a prediction for what's going to happen during it, and I'm pretty sure my prediction's going to be right.
TrX, are you one of those annoying people who wants them to bring in the Sam Raimi suit and you just freak out because they haven't?
No.
Okay, good.
The default suit in that game, the first one you get, the white spider suit, is my favorite Spider-Man suit by far.
Talking about Spider-Man, sorry to just cut you off, but I laugh at both of y'all. A trailer for the new Spider-Man movie was released, but it was only released in Brazil for some stupid special econ, and they didn't release it to the rest of the world.
Hey, I believed you. I just couldn't find it.
Hey, Malid, that happened the next day. That happened that next day. It happened on that Saturday. I remember it. Or it may have actually been that Friday. It was either that Friday or Saturday. But that is true. I do know that for a fact.
I don't know, but I told you, I seen it on YouTube, but I don't know why they only released it in Brazil.
Is the trailer out now?
No,
I don't know. I haven't find it. I haven't. All I know is
I heard they like took phones or something like that, so you couldn't record it.
Exactly. From the reports and rumors of what I heard and this article that I read this morning, they literally made sure that there was no like even the press couldn't even bring in photo cameras, like regular photo cameras, so that nobody could take pictures. And so they released one article that I've seen so far with 3 pictures in it, and Spider-Man has 3 different suits that he wears in the movie throughout the entire time of the movie.
I'm not gonna like that.
I think he wears that same suit, but it's like black instead of
black.
Blue.
He's got the stealth suit in this movie, and it takes place in London, which is reason it's called Far From Home because he's not in America at all.
Right. Yeah, I think he wears that like all black suit. Does
it have like a glowing green spider symbol on it that goes like behind his shoulder?
No, that's
not
only
the
in
stealth
the
suit then.
Game.
Well, that's what they said. They said it's not the actual stealth suit, but it's like the stealth suit, and it's a homage to the one that's in the
Yeah,
game.
there's
Because in this one, he's
leaked.
wearing goggles instead of like
Yeah,
having.
there's leaked pictures of it. Let me try and find it.
All right.
Uh,
If he wears the Iron Spiders, okay. So I rewatched Infinity War again because I just wanted to.
yeah.
I like the Iron Spider suit a little bit more.
I didn't like it that much. I didn't
don't
really like it.
I like it a little bit more.
I like the design of it. I think the design of it was really nice.
I like the
think-
design. I think it just looked weird in the movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to that. The reason I think it looked a little bit weird is because you got to remember he was in space, so you got a lot of different colors and a lot of different reflections coming off of the suit. Like when he was when they were close to the nebula, it looked ugly. It looked like a rainbow suit, like one of those like the Celine paint jobs on cars, how it changes colors and stuff. It kind of looked like that because all you saw was the shine of the nebula on it with the red and blue mixed in, and then it was like gold and So I agree with you. It's just I think if you would have seen it when it was on Earth, it was more the colors were more prominent.
Yeah.
On it.
Well,
to me,
I got some. Hold on,
Sorry.
I'm taking some screenshots of the leaked things. Give me like 2 seconds. Here, I got one of that suit, that one suit you were talking about, Malid. So this is the one suit that you were talking about, that like black suit. That was kind of the best picture I could find.
Colton, get the
And
word.
then
That is that's
I have
Spider-Man
another picture
Noir.
of him. Yeah,
And
that's
then
the
they
one. They have him sitting on a
this
rock.
one.
Too.
And then they have this one, which is like this.
I like
Stark
that one.
suit. I like that one too.
When he
That one
turns
looks
around on
a
his
lot better.
back, like his backside of that suit, the Spidey symbol is like outlined in a light blue, so it looks like it's like lit, like it's lit up like a LED light kind of thing on his back.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of the back.
I will say this: I do not like that they have the Spider-Man Noir suit in it.
Why?
I never really liked that suit to begin with, honestly.
Me neither. I think the suit looks really weird. But I mean, they're going to add a bunch of CG stuff to it, so it's going to look a lot different than it does there. That's what I think.
Yeah, but that's not Peter Parker's suit.
Exactly.
That's Spider-Man Noir's suit. That suit's from the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not even the same person. It's a completely different person, completely different character, personality, everything. It does not fit Peter Parker at all.
That
whatsoever.
person carries guns.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was from the Great Depression. Was that because isn't there didn't they do I think a Punisher noir? I
don't know about that.
They did I know they did a couple other ones. It was I think
they did
Punisher,
a Daredevil for sure. It was Daredevil, Bullseye.
Wolverine? I think it was Wolverine.
Had one. I wasn't sure.
I mean, Wolverine was alive during the Great Depression.
I know like a lot of minor comic book characters had gotten some. Mainly most of the ones from the Daredevil series. Because his role, like the way they do vigilantism would have been the way they did it then in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Just guns and
they had they had a Luke Cage noir, Punisher, Spider-Man, Weapon X, Wolverine noir. Yeah, those are the ones that I can see at the moment.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out today.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Somebody put it on Twitter.
Bro,
I heard it was good.
It got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes is stupid.
Rotten Tomatoes is like the site that you go to for movie reviews.
No, you don't.
No, it's not. No, you don't. Rotten Tomatoes has.
When you want to be lied to about your movie reviews, you go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, also, Google users 97% liked it. IMDb has it as an 8.7. IGN has it at a 9, but I don't like IGN.
IGN does bad reviews too, especially for their games. Trash. They make terrible game reviews. IGN is like the game reviews of Rotten Tomatoes.
Hold up,
I don't know what happened to them. They used to be prominent. They used to be the people everybody looked to back in the day.
The way that Rotten Tomatoes, like their rating works, is that's based on how much of the Rotten Tomatoes people liked it. That's pretty much how it works. So it means 97% of the people who saw, or people from Rotten Tomatoes who saw the movie liked it. That's pretty much all that means.
No.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything like it's a 97 out of 100. It means 97% of the people who saw it liked it.
Well, that's pretty solid.
I mean, that is pretty solid, but that's not the same as a 97 out of 97% movie review.
Also, I want to point out, Volt, I just saw this, said that the Stark suit is bae. I agree with you, but if you're talking about the video game, incorrect. White spider suit.
The skull one, the one with the Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's the best one. 100%.
Oh god. I didn't all the spider suits in that game looked super low res in cutscenes. That's one of the reasons why I only stuck with the white spider suit. Well,
not the Scarlet
Ghost,
one. That one looked really good, actually.
The Ghost Rider one is the one that I thought looked best in cutscenes.
I just thought it looked funny in cutscenes.
It was pretty ridiculous.
But the Scarlet Spider one, that's such a good suit. I love that suit.
I didn't I just like original Spider-Man suits. Like
I like the Scarlet Spider suit.
Talking about original things. Sorry, well, I can't talk Spider-Man again. For
All right, that's fine.
I'm done.
That's fine.
But what do you guys? I really honestly want to get your opinions on the remakes that PlayStation is doing, because they did an interview with the gamers of Resident Evil 2, Spyro, Crash, because they remade these games, and Medieval, and they said that they were hoping that more companies do remake more games. Is there a specific game or any game that you guys want to see be remade from the original PlayStation?
Are you talking on the PlayStation Classic?
I think he's just talking about in general. What games do you want remastered, like Crash and Spyro?
Yeah, they remade Crash, they redid Spyro, they redid Medieval, and Resident Evil 2 comes out next month. They redoing Resident Evil 2.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, everybody, they were saying like they want more remakes. Well, and so my question to you is, from the original PlayStation era, what game would you like to see the remake?
Oh, are we also? What exactly is what? When you say PlayStation era, what do you mean?
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation, yeah, obviously PlayStation 1, but do you mean PlayStation? I don't know what even all was out when the PlayStation 1 was out. Dude, I'm 16. You got to remember this.
I didn't really play that. Every game that I played on PlayStation 1 will absolutely never be remade, because I played like shit like Tarzan and Hercules. I mean, Crash Team Racing is getting remade, and that's one of the ones that I would say to remake.
Dude, and I just hate that it's not gonna come out for another 6 months. We gotta wait all the way till June. Like, how are you gonna put a trailer in December?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
That's tough.
It's a remake. Like, come on.
I mean, we had to wait a long time for, like, from when Spyro got announced and the trailer came out. We had to wait a long time for that game to come out, especially because it got pushed back like a month or two.
Yo, Loki.
You're redoing 3 games, not 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may actually make sense. I need to get the Spyro game. Low-key, a lot of people think that these remakes, if they're really bad, like really bad remakes, are like cash grabs and stuff. And like, are remakes just cash grabs, do you guys think? Because it's an easy way that a lot of people will make money. Because low-key, I talked about this on the video that's going on the SRM Gaming YouTube channel tomorrow. Go check it out at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Thank you. No, but seriously, like, do you think that these companies just do it as an easy way to make money because they know people will buy these remasters and these remakes?
Well, I don't know about Crash, but for Spyro, for one thing, Activision did not remaster it. Toys for Bob did.
Activision.
And
Activision sucks.
It's definitely I wouldn't consider it a cash grab, because when you look at the game, it took a lot of work to remaster Crash and Spyro to make it look like it does today.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it is. I mean, but I just
In
want
my
some more input.
I mean, I say yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because, yes, you're making money off of a game that you already made. So it's kind of like redundant, right? But at the same time, you got to understand that how many people now playing video games, how many 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds that are playing video games now would have never gotten the chance to play Spiral of Crash on a regular PlayStation if one of their friends' fathers didn't own it already. You know what I mean? Like, you literally have to be my age to own a PlayStation and own that Crash. Because if you didn't have a system in 1995, you probably never bought Crash.
I own it.
I mean, and how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20, right? When did you get your PlayStation? Your original PlayStation?
Third grade, like first grade, one of those.
Dude, you played video games? I didn't even know. Well, I can't say that because I played Atari, and that came out in the 70s, and I was born in the 80s. But most kids don't have PlayStations. Walk into a house right now and tell me how many people you think will have an original PlayStation.
They just made a PlayStation Classic. It's probably bad, but they did it.
It's not going to be bad. It's going to be. What games are on it? Isn't Crash and Spyro on it?
I think there's like really bad games on it though. Like I don't think there's that many good games. That's why I think it actually is bad. Like seriously.
Is on it.
Let me go check. PlayStation.
I'm checking it.
There's a ton of games on that system. I mean, it's 100 games, isn't it, or 20 games? Something, I don't know.
It's
20.
Yeah,
that's actually not that much, to be honest with you.
20. Yeah, I'm gonna read off the games. Where is it? Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Revelations, Persona, Rayman, Resident Evil, Director's Cut, R4, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms.
Now, before anybody even says anything, compare that list to PlayStation's greatest hits list, and I guarantee you that more than 70% of those games are greatest hits.
Well,
meaning that went platinum status and sold over 1 million copies worldwide in 7 days.
Well, that's the point of
$100.
it. It says PlayStation Classic comes complete with some of the best games from the original PlayStation.
$100.
It's coming with Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto. Like, GTA 3 was the business. Like, that game was awesome. Like, there's just some games that's on there that's worth it. Resident Evil Director's Cut, Abe's World, Abe's Odyssey. That's a long game. It's not an hour or 2 hour game. That's a pretty long game. It gets intense.
I'm definitely not going to be getting it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't got $100 to spend on it.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, I have Final Fantasy 7. I have Oddworld, and that's all I really want from this.
Well, people
I have Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, same.
With the remakes of everything, how many people don't even have Final Fantasy 7? You know how hard it is to get your hands on that game?
No, you can just download it on your computer.
If you wanted to, but if you wanted to play it on your PlayStation, go ahead.
Actually, no, it's on PS4.
Yeah, I think it is.
Now it is, but okay, think about the fact that everything now is you can get it on the PlayStation library, right? And you have to pay sticker price no matter how old that game is. I will not. Would you pay $50 for Final Fantasy 7 right now?
Probably.
Nope.
I would not.
Well, it's remastered, so yeah.
They haven't remastered it.
What?
The game has never been. Nope.
Are you sure? Oh, my PlayStation isn't connected to the internet, so I can't check.
It has never. We've been waiting for a remaster. I'm a Final Fantasy fanatic.
I was told in 11th grade it was getting remastered.
It's never been. I think it's been done in like HD, but never been done remastered like it should have been done. I think they gave it like a Blu-ray makeup and gave us a demo of it, and then that was about it. We never got the actual game an HD remastered like a Final Fantasy 10, 12, 11. No, not at all. I wish. Believe me, I do. Instead, they gave us a movie, Advent Children. One of the best Final Fantasy movies done, but
Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
No, go ahead.
So I just looked up release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake. So what this is telling me is I don't know if this is going to be the original game. Also, it's going to be across 3 games.
What?
I don't know anymore. Like, so when it first, this game was supposed to have been remastered 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was told 5 years ago it was coming out.
Yeah, like months and months. Like, they came out with a trailer for it, and that's all we've ever seen was a remastered trailer. And it's the beginning opening of the game, of the original Final Fantasy VII game. We never got anything else other than that. We never got actual gameplay footage. Ever. Like, I've been waiting for that for years. Final Fantasy VII is, to me, one of the greatest RPG games ever made.
The trailer was revealed at E3 2015.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal trailer. And told you 3 years and we still haven't got a game.
Dang, that is tough.
Oh, wait a second. It's not going to be Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Remake is making some major changes to the established battle system, introducing a formula more akin to Kingdom Hearts or Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry is like a third-person view game. It's like no different than playing Metal Gear Solid, Skyrim in third-person view when you're just looking over the shoulder of a person. So
no, I mean like combat and exploration now takes place in real time, not turn-based. Much like Final Fantasy 15.
I haven't played that. What? I haven't even played that one. Wait,
You haven't played Final Fantasy 15?
What do you mean Final Fantasy 15?
Bro, that came out like 3 years ago. Probably more than that. Nope, actually it was 3 years ago, because I played it my first year of college.
Wow.
You didn't know there was a Final Fantasy 15?
Dude, listen, I lost track after 12 because it was like 12 and then online and then 12 something other 12 tactics. Like they came out with so many Final Fantasies. Like they went and did 10 and then 10-2 and then 11 and then another Final Fantasy online. And then they did Final Fantasy Tactics Part 2. And then it was like, okay, we're going to do 12. No, we're not going to do 12. And reverted back to some other, like, I can't even remember what they did after that before they dropped Final Fantasy 12 because they did something else. And then they dropped Final Fantasy 12, which is about the same time First Kingdom Hearts came out.
Well, if you're
the Square Enix merger, and that was the first game they dropped together was Kingdom Hearts.
If you're like a die-hard Final Fantasy fan, then you most likely will be like most Final Fantasy fans and not like Final Fantasy 15.
There's a lot of them that I don't like. That like Final Fantasy 8. I liked it, but it wasn't that good. And then the first online one they did, I think, was 9. Pretty sure it was. I really didn't like that one.
I thought it was 12.
No, there's another one before that was Ethernet connection for the PS2.
Oh, because
no,
I know
the
there was
PS1. It was the original PlayStation.
What? I don't think so.
The first Final Fantasy that came out on PS2, wasn't it Final Fantasy X? Final Fantasy 9 was the Final Fantasy Online. So now you're gonna make me go look it up.
Because I know there's 2 Final Fantasy Onlines. One of them's 14, and that was for PS3 and PS4. And then I think 12 is online. I don't know what 11 is. I don't know what 13. Oh, I know what 13 is. I love 13.
Yeah,
but
Final Fantasy 9.
The reason I'm saying that you'll probably hate Final Fantasy 15 is because people hated it. Not like, I don't like this game because the story's a bit shit. No, they hated it. It was not good in anybody's eyes.
Is that the one that was supposed to have been like 10? Like had the same battle system as 10 or about the same storyline as 10?
No, it's completely different from 10. And you've played Devil May Cry, right? You know how the battle stuff works?
Yeah.
That's how Final Fantasy 15 was. And like magic, there was no magic. It was consumable items that you make that was magic. It's weird, and for you to get a better,
I didn't play it.
You might want to just
I didn't like it.
Yeah, you might want to look it up on YouTube, because what I'm reading about Final Fantasy 7, it's gonna be Final Fantasy 15, but with the Final Fantasy 7 story. Also, 3 different games, which is gonna be real annoying.
And but I understand why. I understand why. Because I think they're gonna take the whole thing. Okay. So when we were screaming for this remake for Final Fantasy 7 and it never came out, they made like 5 games that have to deal with the Final Fantasy 7 storyline. It was Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Final Fantasy Cerebrus, Final Fantasy, I can't remember that one. The one with Vincent that was on the PS2.
No clue.
I can't remember the name of it. And then they came out with one for, it was like a turn-based, it was just a regular turn-based, like old school RPG game for the PSP. And then they came out with the movie Advent Children. And those 4 separate things, along with Final Fantasy VII, created a story timeline for you to follow from when Cloud first joined Alex and as a soldier to the ending of Final Fantasy VII, on to the movie Advent Children and the Resurrection of Sephiroth. So I guess they're gonna do that whole entire timeline and break it down into 3 games. Is the only thing I can think of. Because it's a story.
What I'm reading here is that's not right. The 3 games are literally just gonna be Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is gonna be 3 games, is intended as a direct retelling of the 1997 original.
On what website is this?
Trusted Reviews. The title is Final Fantasy. The title is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Tetsuya Nomura provides a brief update on development.
I don't know. That's the first time I hear this. I mean, like I said, I haven't heard nothing about the game at all, other than that it was a remake. I never heard anything about when it was going to come out, because I kind of stopped caring. I was like, I'll just play the original and I'm good with that. Like, I'm okay with that. Stop teasing me with this, fake information. It's kind of how I felt after a while. I know most people that I know who love Final Fantasy VII as much as I do, and even more, feel the same way. They kind of just moved on, and it just, if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Kind of felt heartbroken about it anyway at this point. So we'll see what happens. I would be disappointed if it's 3 separate games and we have to purchase them separately instead of like, that'll just be dumb, because
that's a cash grab.
Now, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like in this day and age, you shouldn't have to buy. I mean, just give me DLC content then, if that's the case. And I'm not gonna pay for 3. I'm not paying $60 for no DLC content twice after I paid $80 for the original game.
Right.
I talk about that in the video that comes out on the official SRM Gaming. I'm sorry.
No, but I hear you. Like when we were talking earlier about whether everything's a cash cow or not, like that's what I was saying. Like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Like if you're looking at it in the point where you have a lot of kids who never had access to these video games in the first place, and you're giving them a shot to be able to buy something that their parents were able to enjoy, you can now enjoy. I get that whole commercialism of it,
Yeah,
it's understandable. But then, like, you have a lot of people who want to physically have the game, who want to physically be able to play the game. So, like, buying it on their PS4 on the PSN network and being able to download it is not good enough for certain. You know, being able to actually have a PS Classic or the original PS1 in their home, sitting next to their PS2, 3, and 4. It's just, you know, that nostalgia of it. And so that's the commercial draw. Like they know it's not gonna appeal to everyone, but it's gonna appeal to most. And that's all they need. They need more than 50 to 60% of the community to buy it, and that's it. And they know that's gonna happen. That's guaranteed. You know, like I said, when you're looking at that system of the PS Classic, and you see that it's coming with Resident Evil, it's coming with Metal Gear Solid, it's coming with Abe's Odyssey, and you know Grand Theft Auto and things like that. Games that were they were games that were game changing. I know that doesn't make any sense, but like it's true. Like Resident Evil changed the way people
revolutionary
did games. Yeah, it was like, yo, the zombies were just frightening. People literally got scared and cried and had nightmares over a video game. You know, like it was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, it made people get more realistic and more intense of what they were doing in video games.
Hey, real quick, I have something to say. So Amazon says that Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out on December 31st.
That's a placeholder. Yeah, whenever it's December 31st, it's always a placeholder.
But not only that, it's for whenever the game actually does come out for pre-order. You know what I mean? So it's like a pre-order.
Well, I can already pre-order it. I could pre-order it right now.
Yeah, I know you can, because they will always honor that. You know, they have to. They don't have no choice. But it doesn't make any sense because you don't officially know. You can be waiting years before that game ever comes out.
I mean, this says December 31st is the release date.
Dude, I've been waiting 3 years already. Like I said.
I'm just saying what this says.
Well, just look it up and see. Because Amazon, you never know.
Oh, never mind. Y'all are right.
Yep, I knew it.
I went down to answered questions, and it says Amazon says it will be released on December 30th, 2016. Is that really true?
Yeah. Wow, so you don't know how to read the date?
Well, no. It says 2018, but the answer then goes on. The date's a placeholder. If it ends up going into the next year, Amazon will make another placeholder date, December 30th, 2017.
Wow.
They will continue to do so because they know when that game drops, literally, I say within the first 24 hours, they're going to sell 1 million copies worldwide.
I'm sad. I got really excited.
Like I said, it all depends on how the development of the game goes on, depending on how excited I'm going to be for the game. I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to get it. Now, if I get it and it's not what I think, I will be very disappointed. And that all depends on whether I actually play the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that I've anticipated, bought, and I was like trash. And sad to say, most of them were Tomb Raider games.
I just want Final Fantasy.
I wish I can get a whole just redoing of Final Fantasy. You know how in movies they go back in time and they just wipe out 5 previous movies, they don't exist because somebody killed somebody and changed the whole timeline.
You mean the X-Men universe?
I was about to say that.
I mean, they did the same thing in Star Trek, when Spock went back in time to go stop Kirk from dying and whatever, but there's plenty of movies they did that in.
Right.
I wish they could do that in Final Fantasy. Just go back in time and just wipe out the first 6 games like they didn't exist and just start all over.
I mean, you can get somewhat remastered versions of the first 5 or 6.
I mean, you can get them. I've seen them. They sell them as box sets. You can get them as box sets, and they come with
I'm just talking about on your phone.
You can do that too.
I have the first 6 on my phone.
But no, I just read just a whole new Final Fantasy from beginning all over again. Because you
I
know
just
which game is it? Like I was talking to my girl the other day because we were walking through a bookstore and we were looking at old school Nintendo picture frames. Excuse me. And they showed Donkey Kong. And in Donkey Kong, the character you played was Mario. You know, so 'cause she always thought Super Mario Brothers was his first game, and it wasn't his first game. And then there's a game they had before that. It was just called Mario Brothers. It wasn't even called Super Mario Brothers. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's just called Mario Brothers. And it's like a competitive head-to-head game, like where you just play against each other and you're fighting against spikes, like the Spikies and the Turtles, the Goombas, and stuff like that. And it's basically who can kill the most animals and get the most power-ups in the match. And it was like the most competitive game. And it only came out on arcade. You know, people used to line up for playing this game. I think Nintendo should remake that game. It's a classic. Like kids would love that game right now. If Nintendo would be into remaking any of their old school games.
They did remake some games. Like, I mean, it was a while ago, but they did. They remade Super Mario and 64. They remade that for the DS. They remade crap, what else was it? They remade I think maybe they remade a Super Mario Bros. I'm not sure.
No, I know they dropped the Nintendo Classic and the SNES Classic. Like,
Yeah, I
some
know about that.
those old school games. But then, like I said, there's games that never came out on the Nintendo system because they were before Nintendo ever came out. Like
Right.
Nintendo, the gaming company, has been making video games since the 70s. However, their first system came out in 1981. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of games that predate the system that were awesome. Like they were great games when I was younger than when I was playing video games when I was a kid that they should remake now because, like I said, you have a lot of new kids coming out that are very young who don't know a lot about of the old school games. Remaking those games just it helps them to bridge a gap with their parents. You know, like oh, I used to play that when I was a kid. Let's go ahead and play this game together. You know,
Yeah.
video games are like they can bring families together. You know, dads.
Oh,
And
definitely.
video games and everything. So like if you really can get a whole family just to stay in the home and play video games all day, that's a tight family right there, yo. They'll
Oh yeah.
be together.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, but I think it definitely brings it brings the older generation, it brings the younger I mean with each other, and like you said, it's a good way for parents and kids to, you know, sit down and talk about or play a game, or you know, like if you have a great memory about a game and your son gets the remaster for that game and you start telling him about whatever the memory was, about how you stayed up all night playing it, and you know he's going to do the same thing. I mean, stuff like that I think is it's happening so much now with all the remasters and stuff, especially with all the classic consoles that people are doing. I think that's happening a lot more now. And I think that's a great thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a good thing.
Censorious, your mic's breaking.
Is it really?
It sounds like someone is zipping up and down like a zipper every time you talk.
Hold on.
I'm not sure if it's going on to like the podcast, but I'm assuming it is if I can hear it.
Yeah, because I can hear it.
Yeah. But while he's fixing that, so this other thing that I'm reading says, game director Tetsuya Nomura is currently focused on Kingdom Hearts 3, though that should change once Kingdom Hearts 3 finally launches on January 25th, 2019.
Can't wait.
So we might get a release date after that.
Is it good now?
Yes, it's
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, to just rebut on what you just said real quick, TrX. I honestly I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. Like I never really liked Kingdom Hearts to begin with. I really wasn't much of a fan because it was like I'm not a Disney character fan. So the Toy Story 3. I mean Toy Story and Kingdom Hearts along with Final Fantasy characters from the Advent Children movie, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I refuse to play Kingdom Hearts just because it's a Final Fantasy game kinda with with Disney characters. No thanks. I'm okay.
I mean, that's how I always felt about it too. Like I would not play it, but then now you're adding like some of my favorite games, and then I'm not a Disney fan, but I'm a Toy Story fanatic. Like I love Toy Story, so I don't, and I know it kind of sounds like oxymoronish, like that doesn't make sense, but I'm sorry, like I love Toy Story. So when I seen that the characters were going to be in this game, I was like, oh, I gotta play it just because Woody and Buzz are going to be there.
Don't get me wrong. I love Disney. Disney World is my favorite place on earth, and I have watched every single Disney movie that has come out. But I just don't like the idea of, Goofy being there nuking everybody with magic and just or whatever he does in that game. That's just,
you gotta understand, that's Disney. Now, if Disney's gonna allow a game or somebody to characterize them in the video game or portray them in the video game, you have to stay true to the nature of that character. So think about the fact that Mickey Mouse has been a wizard, train conductor, you know what I mean? He's an artist. I mean, for crying out loud, he had a game on Nintendo in 2 different worlds, like 2 different generations of Mickey Mouse in one game. So like it's just you got to stay true to the nature of who those characters are, and in the nature of Walt Disney and Donald Duck. I mean, he's done everything. He's been squashed. He's been flattened. His beak has been blown off. He's more like Daffy Duck plus, because like even though he don't talk, he's still more smarter than Daffy Duck is. So you got to just take it in the realm of a child's mind. That's how I see this video game. It's not something that if you take it in a cynical adult way, it'll just, it's not, but like take it in the mind of a child, and it's Disney. Like that's why I don't like Disney, but there's just some things you just got to take it with a grain of salt, I guess, like, is there going to be the first one I play in the entire series? Because just like you, I'm not a Disney fan. I'm not into that Disney magic. I don't know what words to use. Like I'm
Disney magic.
Yeah, like
I get what you mean. I don't know.
now I want to play Final Fantasy 15.
And you know what sucks about it? Like, to be honest, I was forced to watch Disney movies my whole life.
Bro, why would you
Really?
be forced? Disney movies are the best movies.
No,
They
not.
actually are pretty good.
Bro, Frozen was so good.
Okay.
The 5 minutes I watched of Moana was okay.
Stop.
Bro,
Okay?
Disney movies are great.
Listen, there's the only part in Frozen I will watch is when Olaf jumps and says something about like, if I was in summer, I would be a happy snowman. That's it. That's
I lived with at the time I have a little sister who was like 9 years old, probably even younger than that. So having to hear that for literally a year and a half was very annoying. So yeah,
I know you probably a few mornings and was like, let it go. Like, singing it in the shower. Like,
nah, dude. No.
Think about this. My family, well, one side of my family is addicted to Disney. So we used to go to Disney World every single year, but we stopped for a while. And then I think last year we went to Disney again.
Oh,
and my uncle is, I think, 40. He's like 6'6". He's really lanky, and he wears flip flops. We were in Magic Kingdom, and there was a Disney parade that comes around like every hour.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he turned into a 6-year-old. He's just a giant lanky man running to the front to see the parade and jumping up and down seeing Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
that is my family.
My parents were when they went to Disney World. I mean, I couldn't like. I have a little sister and a daughter, so I had to see everything twice. And you know how like you kids don't see a movie once. I think I
Yeah.
seen Beauty and the Beast like 1,000 times. I could probably recite that movie from beginning to end because of my sister and my daughter. Like that was both of their favorite Disney movies. So it was like, dang,
Wait, which movie?
Beauty and the Beast.
What is the 17th word said in Beauty and the Beast?
See, now you're gonna make me that. I mean, if you got 5 minutes, let me think about that.
I have
It's
no
probably
idea.
no, because I know
No,
Belle said
or-
no a lot at the
No,
beginning.
because she's singing in the beginning. It's that song, and I gotta
Yeah.
try to remember the song.
Oh,
Yeah, it's that song, dude. How do you not know about Beauty and the Beast? You don't know about these classics.
bro, I haven't watched Beauty and the Beast in so long. The last time I watched it was when the live action version came out.
I never
Oh.
seen it. Decided not to. I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't seen it too many
It
times
was pretty
already.
good. I liked it.
No.
I'm so excited for the live action Lion King. Oh my god! Did y'all
That
see
looks-
the trailer for it?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
waiting
it
for
looks so
Aladdin.
good.
Aladdin's gonna be so
Ooh,
much better.
Aladdin would be good. The
They're doing-
junk.
Will Smith is playing Genie.
Is he really?
Yes, he
That's
is.
gonna
It's
be
already
hilarious.
been set. There's already a release date, and if you go on YouTube right now, there's already a trailer.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'll have to watch that
Listen,
later.
check this out. If you go onto YouTube, there's a video that shows every movie that is coming out for next year, right? As far as epic or adventure or sci-fi. And when you look at this video, I think it's like 45 minutes long, almost an hour long.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Look at them, but check it out. When you look at the movies, at least 70 to 80% of them are Disney, because it ranges from MCU to Star Wars to live action Disney to
Yeah.
Disney animated. Like Disney runs the entire movie scene next year. I don't care what anybody says.
Disney's gonna rule the world soon.
Dude,
Yeah.
Walt Disney has been running 1% of the world since the world started, man.
Our president's gonna be Mickey Mouse at some point.
I feel
Low key.
Walt Disney's been everywhere, man. Everywhere. That dude, before he passed, was one of the greatest minds ever. Like,
Yeah,
how do you push someone to the point where they at first had nothing to do with music? Their artistry was more like cartoonish and making strips, and then you put them into the Mary Poppins set, and that song, like A Spoonful of Sugar, that famous song that they have, was created by an artist and a piano player, like an actual drawing artist. None of them were actual music writers.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
The artist who was there and helped create the song, it's in a movie. It's in a movie called I can't remember now. It's a Where's Walt or something like that. It's about Walt Disney, and there's a part where they're creating Mary Poppins, and the character who's played there, I know his like great nephew, like best friends, and he can vouch for the entire story, and so can his mom, his grandmom, and everything. Like he is in a line of family of famous cartoon artists.
Wow.
And his great uncle drew comics and things for Walt Disney back in the 40s and 50s.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like if you can get somebody who doesn't even write music to like you put them in a room for 3 or 4 days and they come out with one of the greatest songs ever in Disney history, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like that's kind of like Vince McMahon, how he creates, I don't know, like some people don't watch wrestling or whatever, but how he can create a person and take that person and make them one of the best personas in sports entertainment. You know what I mean? Like The Rock or Hulk Hogan or Triple H or Shawn Michaels, things like that, The Undertaker. And like how he can help them hone their craft and make them better than what they are. Like there's not many people in the world who can do that. And most people who can are very influential. Roger Kraft, New England Patriots, you know what I mean? Like there's just certain people who have that ability.
Definitely.
That honestly, that's strive every day. Like that's why like I can be a gamer, I can sit down and game and I can stream. I can dedicate my entire life to that, but honestly that's not me. Like I'm the kind of person where I like to bring people along with my success. You know, that's the kind of people I look at and I strive to be, because I can be influential, but what's the point of being influential by yourself? Like to me that doesn't make any sense. What's the point? Like I like to have people. I'm a friendly person. You know, I like to have people around me to enjoy the success, to be able to be like, oh, this is what we built. This is what we created for the future. That's my reason of being in esports, creating something for the future, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It is the future, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel like. I feel like it's when you look at sports the way it is now, and you look at baseball, football, basketball, you know, hockey, soccer, those are physical sports. Those are going to be around for years because physical sports have always been around in one way, shape, or form. Either, you know, you're kicking a football, bouncing a basketball, kicking a soccer ball, or you're from the Middle Ages and you swing a sword against lions. You know what I mean? Like
that
some
too.
kind of but it's the truth. Like that was their form of entertainment. Those are their form of athletes back then in those days. So it's like there's always going to be some form of physical entertainment. That's never going to change. Sports entertainment is a whole different thing on its own because, yes, is it a sport? Yeah, per se. It's not a physical sport, but it's something that you do religiously every day. That's like people say that religion is going to church or whatever. No, to me, religion is something you practice every day, that you do every single day, whether that's like people play video games religiously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So being able to go online, playing against other people and competing, that makes it a sport. To me, that makes it a sport. It doesn't make it a physical sport, but it's a sport. Okay. And that's why it's called an esport. Like it's an electronic sport. It's an entertainment sport.
Right.
You know, all sports are for entertainment, but I think esports is building on something that I've never thought. There's a lot of people who never thought I'd be able to play with somebody in China, the same video game at the same time in real time. You know, and now we got competitions. You know, people are traveling from country to country, playing video games with each other. There's no animosity. There's no politics involved. It's like, oh, I don't care what country you're from. We play video games against each other. That's all we care about. We don't have nothing to do with you know what I mean? So like, video games is bridging gaps in ways that other things haven't been able to. Wrestling has been around for 40, 50 years.
It's been out for a while.
You know what I mean? Think about sports entertainment. WCW, WWE, WCW, you know, all these different wrestling organizations that was even around before I was even thought of, before my parents were thought of. And they could never bridge gaps the way video games is right now. Yeah. You know, when you're looking across the table, you're not looking at someone's religion. You're not looking at someone's ethnicity. You're not looking at someone's country. You're looking at another competitor. And when that game is over, you shake hands, you say, what's up, good game, GG's, and you move on to the next. You know what I mean? But then like, oh man, I really connected with this guy. And you start talking and you start learning things about each other. Bridging, like I said, bridging gaps, learning, increasing each other's knowledge about things we would never learn in our school or in our own country.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we need to bring up what we've been talking about in general.
What?
In
what are we
about
talking
esports? About? We were talking about esports.
Oh, that.
But we weren't talking about we were just talking about why esports is different, but we weren't talking about what we were planning on talking about. So, the other day, I think it was maybe Tuesday, something like that. I don't know. Me, TrX, and Navy kind of got in a little friendly dispute about whether esports will grow bigger than athletic sports.
I see.
Since you guys have an opinion, haven't heard my opinion, I want to give my first opinion if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's hear Malid.
The reason I say it doesn't, and it never will, is because of the fact there's one thing you have to remember that has standed the test of time when it comes to physical sports: the Olympics.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Since, I mean, like even before the medieval times, the Olympics have always been around. There have always been competitions for medals, not just kills or not just entertainment. There has always been country against country, city against city, town against town. That will never change. You can never take away the Olympics. And that's why physical sports will never be trumped by entertainment sports, ever.
Yeah. I said the reason was people, whenever you watch, sports like football, basketball, soccer, whatever it is, people, I think, get a higher adrenaline rush from that, from watching people physically go at each other than at esport. Because, I mean, if I'm watching a game of football where you're seeing grown men hit each other, why would I want to watch a bunch of people play video games when I could watch people hit each other and I would get more of a rush from it? That's what I said. TrX, I don't remember specifically what he said.
So, my argument
go ahead.
is kind of what you're talking about with like the adrenaline rush. But you have to think though, like everyone who plays a competitive game dreams to be on that stage playing as a pro. And if you're watching your favorite team, your favorite player play a game and he pulls off something extraordinary, then that'll probably give you a pretty big rush.
You can say the same I mean, that's the same thing with athletic sports, though. That's the thing. What I was saying is not from the people who are playing it, because of course they got an adrenaline rush. That's their job. They're making millions of dollars off it. Of course they love it. I'm talking about the average person who loves, and I talked about this on the SRM Gaming YouTube channel, but anyways, I talked about games are growing. They are growing. They're growing super big. And I talked about this in the video, but in 2014, the game industry was worth double than the film industry that year. However, I feel like video games and esports in general, I mean, they're obviously connected, but they're, I don't know how to word it, but not intertwined the best. I don't know how to word it, but the reason why I say that is because not every gamer watches esports. A lot of people who play sports in high school, middle school, rec, whatever, they watch athletic sports. Not like I play video games all the time. Obviously, I do stuff for this organization, but that doesn't mean I watch esports. Now, if the SRM Gaming gets to there, yes, I'm definitely going to watch the esports players. However, I just can't sit down and watch Optic and FaZe and all these other people go at it on video games, because I would much rather just do it myself or watch athletic sports. So I think that there's kind of a difference in it because of the amount of people who actually play games who watch it, compared to with athletic sports, people who play the sports who watch it themselves. That's what I think.
I mean, I kind of don't agree with that, because the reason I don't is because it's competitive. Like, that's the nature of it. That's what people want to see, the competition. That's what draws the crowds. That's what creates the drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we didn't have Optic Gaming right now. Imagine that if every time you saw the CWL, it was a different team that won, which is kind of like what's going on with baseball right now. You don't have the New York Yankees ruling the baseball. You don't have the Boston Red Sox winning every year. You don't you know what I mean? Every year is a different team. It kind of gets boring. It's like, I can watch it, but I know my team's not going to win it because they won it last year. You know, that's the way, and it kind of gets boring. It's not like when you look at football, and me being a Dallas Cowboy fan, I get to suffer losing every playoffs to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? Like it's the drama of it. It's
They're
like
not going to the playoffs this year. We can have a football podcast if you want to. We can have a football podcast.
Destroying right now.
The Saints are going to destroy me. They're going to destroy us on Monday. We are terrible.
That's neither here nor there. I'm not going to talk about how the Cowboys beat the Saints 13-10 and held them. We're not going to go there. But anyway,
yeah. Here's the thing.
Point is, it's the competition of it. So look at that right now. Call of Duty is having one of the greatest esports years, in my opinion, as far as the response to the game. Right now, you look at the top 10 teams. FaZe is not there. So that means Attach, who's one of the best ARs and subs in the game, is not a pro yet, has not qualified to be a pro. The only 2 pro teams from last year is E United and Optic Gaming. Like, once again, Optic Gaming, which creates that drama of the greatest team in CWL as we see it in Call of Duty. Without that drama, you don't have the competition, the sports, the whole wanting for people to see what's going on. That's what's making esports right now. That's what's making Call of Duty, because it's something new. So you got people who don't even play video games who are gravitating towards esports right now. NBA teams have esports teams. The Dallas Mavericks have an esports team. The Houston Rockets have an esports team. The Golden State Warriors have an esports team. These are organizations that wouldn't ever look into that had it would not be for things like the CWL, like the Overwatch League, that are getting a lot of attention. League of Legends. I mean, League of Legends has been around for how long as a competitive game?
That's insane.
But it's not stopping. League of Legends is getting bigger. Like, how do you grow 5, 6, 7, 10 years? And that's that every game is adding a new element. And that new element is what's growing esports. Like I said, it will never top physical sports because the pride and tradition of the Olympics will always be there. That is something that the world looks forward to every 2 years. Winter sports, summer sports. It is a world thing. That's it. It's like, you have that grandmother on Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, every holiday who always does that same thing. You can't stop them from doing it no matter how much you try because it's a tradition for them. That's kind of what the Olympics is to this world. Without that, there is no peace. Literally, I feel without the Olympics, there will be no peace people say there isn't now, but without the Olympics, there would be no peace. That's what brings the nations together every 2 years. Since we can't go about killing each other to see which is the best nation, we do it athletically. That's serious. That's why China hustles to be one of the top 3 in competition to show that they're still a strong nation. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we do it. That's why America hustles. Like, we go out there, bro. We want to be the country that has the most gold medals. Or if we don't have the most gold medals, we have the most medals overall. That's what countries strive for, to be the best in what they do. And that's what the Olympics gives you every 2 years in major sports for a whole week, like racing, track, bicycling, gymnastics. There's so many sports. Esports does the same thing, except it's going to be all year round. But I don't think it will ever get bigger than physical sports because you're never going to trump the Olympics.
We talked about this on a previous podcast about esports going into the Olympics. And I believe that if that happens, the esports will absolutely either beat athletic sports or tie with them.
I can never see that. I can never see that. a country like Brazil, which is one of the most prideful soccer countries in the world, will never have video games as its not even as its second sport. And it's not because of the fact that it won't be allowed. Just look at the country. You would have to destroy half the rainforest just to be able to provide Wi-Fi to these people. That's how separated they are. You can't. You know what I'm saying? That's a national forest. That's a rainforest. It's not happening. And even if they could afford it, even if, let's say, everybody was at that level where, hey, they're not in poverty, half the country is not desolate and living in, like the most worst conditions ever. Let's say they all had the money and they had everything. Soccer is that nation's sport. It's like Mexico, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We have other sports. They play baseball. But soccer is their sport. Those are the things they look to. That's what they know. So changing, like I said, changing tradition is what will be hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, because it's possible. Things change. You got to deal with change. You got to move along with the world. I'm not saying that esports will never be on that same level, but as far as like tying it, or that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. I cannot see, like right now, I tell you this, if in 10 years from now, video game people are making $1 million contracts, Scump, Crim, and all of these people will be making comebacks because they will never make that much money. Not in just competing. Like, they'll have to compete a lot to get there. It's not that simple.
Yeah. I just don't see it getting bigger.
Easy, but it's not that easy. I just don't see it. Like I said, there's just too much. When you're looking at somebody who goes from college football to the pros, you're not just getting paid because you made it to the pro level. That first contract is because you earned it. You done did 17 years prior of not getting paid, of hustling, of sleepless nights, of weekends where you cried because you had to run and hustle for 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like, that first contract's a blessing to most people. After that, you're playing for your money. It's different in esports. Like I said, like I was talking to our COD team earlier today pertaining to the Call of Duty community. And like I said, as one thing, as I love it and it's great, it's growing, it's big. They're looking to do, there's an independent league that's looking to do an all-female pro league next year kind of thing, like apart from the CWL. Like, they want to do their own female thing. Love that. That's awesome. But then you have a lot of 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds who want to play the game, and that's great. They want to get into the tournaments, and they're trying to play with 19 and 20-year-olds, and that age difference causes conflicts in teams, And I'm like, but if you're building a team, why would you get it? So I like competition. I like the level of and the progression of things. It's just like, when Call of Duty gets big, it's going to blow. It's going to be humongous. But like I said, it's not going to reach the level of a New York Yankees or LA Lakers or even a Miami Dolphins. You know what I mean? I would love for to be proven wrong. I would love to see, Optic Gaming, SRM, FaZe. I would love to see our names being held up in a high esteem one day to the New York Giants or the New York Yankees or the Philadelphia Eagles, because that's you're talking about not teams, you're talking about organizations, prominent organizations that have been around for decades. The NFL has been around for over 50 years. The NBA has been around for over 50 years. So just imagine one day to be watching a Miami game and SRM is getting a promo on their center board. Like, you know what I mean? That would just be, I would love that. That would be awesome for us. You know what I mean? Like, to be at that level, I wouldn't say that it could never happen. I'm just saying, like, physical sports is part of this world, not just our country. It's part of the world.
Exactly.
So esports is literally the newborn on the block. It's not even a baby yet. Like, it's the newborn. It's been given birth to like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's just getting big. You know, it's still leading out of the bottle. It hasn't even transformed to you know, Gerber baby food yet, kind of deal. And I mean, it's gonna get there, but it's not gonna trump physical sports. Physical sports has just been around for too long. You got billionaires who have been in the industry for too long. You have I mean, think about how people have man caves and females have female caves, whatever they want to call them,
That's sexist.
dedicated to their physical sports teams. You know what I mean? Spending millions of dollars in memorabilia dedicated to their team. I see that for esports. I see that for you know, the industry in esports, but not now. Not now. It's getting there. There's a lot of people who are that dedicated, you know, to their fan base, and organizations who are dedicated to their fan base like that. And, you know, like, we have our jerseys, we have our shopping section on our website where you can buy an SRM Gaming shirt or a hat. And, you know, we love that. We love our community to be able to buy our memorabilia and be able to show how much they support our community and how much they love our organization, and being a member or being a streamer or just being part of that community. You know, that's what I want to see. I want to see that get bigger. I want to see the esports grow, and it's going to get there. It's going to get there. I mean, look at the fact that Overwatch has added 5 new teams this year.
Have they really?
You know? Yeah, Vancouver got a team. Shanghai, not the Shanghai Dragons. Vancouver got a team. There's 2 teams in China, another team in North Korea, and another European team.
There's a North Korean team?
No, there's a Korean team. I don't know if it's North or South.
I think it's South. I don't think it's North. I don't think
it's probably South Korea.
Yeah, they don't have internet there.
Because I keep up with them on Twitter, and my girlfriend's a humongous Overwatch fan. No, man. So they have been adding, like, they showed a bunch of the new teams that were coming in, and they just announced their 2019 season and what their pro league is going to be looking like. So, you know, Overwatch is growing. To have 5 new teams when, you know, added into a new league, that's fantastic. I see that as, like I said, that's growth in the esports world, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd be excited for us to have, you know, an Overwatch team, to have an all-female COD team, you know, for us to be able to get into the League of Legends game. But, like, you know, just like esports, we're growing, we're new, and
only we
you
can
know,
find a Rainbow Six manager.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, getting the proper people in place, that's what's most important when it comes to building teams. Making sure, you know, you have the correct people who can scout, recruits who can scout and get you those good players, managers who can manage those teams, things like that.
Speaking of which, if anybody here has management experience, you should
oh my gosh.
DM one of us or DM SRMD on Twitter. What do you? Oh my gosh! I'm trying to get us managers.
No, man.
Yo, do what you got to do, TrX.
I'm trying to help us out.
I didn't know this is how we've gotten. I didn't know is. Yes, Scott put the application link in the chat. There you go. Thank you, Scott. I love you.
But really though, we definitely need managers.
Dude, we oh my gosh.
Hey, I know who can be hey, Malid, is Ivy good at COD?
Ivy doesn't play competitively.
Ooh.
I was gonna say she could be the start of the female team.
That's true.
Well,
or the manager.
She's not a COD player.
No.
No, she's, like I said, she's an Overwatch player, but Overwatch is played on PC and she only plays it on the PS4.
Oh.
So, and I don't think that'll, like, that's forever gonna stay on PC.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Just, the advantage is ridiculous on PC.
that's why like tournaments with like that's why Fortnite tournaments they have
They're
PC
PC.
tournaments and not
Yeah.
crossplay because the difference between having a controller and a mouse and keyboard
Is insane.
there's no beating a mouse
I
and
mean,
keyboard
It's
controller.
it's not even that. Even if you use a mouse and keyboard on a PlayStation, it's nothing compared to the RAM power of a PC.
Yeah,
exactly.
For some
And I
reason.
mean, your frames are so higher. I mean, if you're on PlayStation and you're playing with somebody who is using a mouse and keyboard and you are as well, and you both are the same skill level, PC player will win 100% of the time just because of that advantage their platform has over consoles, and it will always be that way 100%. It will
yeah.
always
I
be
think
that way.
I don't think it's more just a platform issue as much as it may be also a server issue.
Yeah, that as well.
Because
I think it's just a
it's
huge
connected.
hardware issue.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
like-
the connection of a computer. I mean, that's what the internet was built for. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
people
'Cause,
can
like-
say, "Oh yeah, but you play it on your PlayStation every day," but it's not the same. It's like playing
it's
COD
not.
on PC. It's not the same.
Exactly.
You know what I
It's
mean?
not.
It's like,
I mean, TrX has a Titan X, and he has 32
Titan Z.
gigs. Titan Z, whatever. And don't you have how many RAM? I mean, how much gigs of RAM do
16
you have?
gigs of RAM.
Oh, I thought you had 32. 16 gigs of RAM. I think the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have maybe 8. So that's double the RAM and like a way better GPU, obviously. It's going to have a way better power supply. You have what, an i7?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be just the hardware will always be better than a console because of just how frequent updates for hardware just how frequent the updates come for hardware for PC. It will always be that way.
yeah. I only know one person in my entire life that could go head to head with PC players on Fortnite with a controller on console and win.
Me.
No, Ray Gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he because our other friend plays PC, so they would always play together. And
Yeah.
when you play on PC, you play against PC people,
PC. Yeah.
and they would win every game. And Ray Gun would get like twice the amount of kills.
Oh,
I don't know why. And
Maybe
we
they just
tried,
got sucky people.
yeah, we tried to get him to play to play on PC, and he tried it once, and he even said that like he could tell he was doing better on PC, but
Yeah.
he just didn't like it. I don't know why.
The mouse and keyboard, like when you first start playing with a mouse and keyboard, it's very scary. Like
Well, no,
100%.
he played with a controller.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, like
It's
when you play with a controller, it's hard to go from controller to mouse and keyboard.
oh yeah.
The reasoning for that is because your hands are no longer holding the same object. You're holding two separate objects. And now you have to pay attention to one hand more than the other. Because one hand is on a wider surface than the other hand is.
right.
Those are the things that subconsciously come into play when a controller person plays on a PC. Because they don't know, like, especially if you don't know the configuration of a keyboard, you're going to constantly be looking at your left or right hand, depending on which one's running the keyboard. Because you got to look at the buttons and know where they're at. And so unless you are used to that, you're never going to want to switch over to a keyboard because it's just going to, it's
It
going to
takes
be
so
hard.
long to get used to.
Memory, yeah, the muscle memory is not going to be the same. And it's just the independence of both hands not holding that controller.
Right. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
got to start wrapping up this podcast. Colton's yelling at us.
Oh
He's a
man.
buzzkill.
No, we love Colton.
We're trying to go for a 3-hour podcast here.
Let's go. How about this? How about next time that we are
Next time, 6
doing a
hours.
podcast? Let's do a 24-hour podcast. Let's do it.
Yes. I'll vote for
We'll
it.
talk about everything.
We'll
let's
talk
do it.
about everything in existence.
Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about whatever we need to.
Yeah. We could spend like 4 hours on esports, 4 hours on anything.
No, 6 hours, not 4 hours.
We need
No,
to
we're gonna
save
have
some time.
we're gonna have 24 different topics, each for 1 hour. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be so much fun. One hour each for each of SRM subsidiaries. And then 1 hour for gaming topics, and then we're probably gonna have like 6 hours about Marvel stuff, like we do every podcast.
An hour to talk about merch.
An hour to talk about merch. An hour to talk about our YouTube channel, which has a new video coming out tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. We got our Twitch. I know this is on our Twitch, but we got some.
Yeah, I think they know about the Twitch.
Yeah, but obviously there's going to be some streamers. It's a 24-hour podcast, man. Come on, we're going to talk about something.
Well,
oh gosh.
Before you keep going, I do have to mention that this is our last podcast for a while. We're going to take a little holiday break. Ideally, we will start up again the first Friday after New Year's.
Okay.
Let me figure out when that date is. So the 4th. The 4th is ideally when we will be back.
All right.
So it's about
January
a 3-week break.
Okay.
I'm sad to say, because that means on Fridays I'm gonna have nothing to do. Because I will be in Colorado, which I'm gonna end my life.
It's okay. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Let's see.
It's gonna be refreshing. We'll come back and we'll have some to talk about.
So let's see. That's a 3-week break. So that means
there should be a lot of stuff in
hours,
games.
7, 8. All right. So next podcast has to be 8 hours to make up for it.
Okay.
That sounds like.
Colton would kill us.
Yeah. Colton would absolutely.
We'd be assassinated.
At least we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we will have a lot to talk about. There should be
not doing that.
He also said he couldn't control it, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're gonna be all right. We're all right. Whenever we go to the offices, that's when we do the 24-hour podcast. That's what we got to do there.
Oh god.
That would be perfect.
That means people would be staring at us for 24 hours.
That's fine. That's so fine. That'd be funny.
I don't know if I'm okay with that. We'll see.
What do you mean you don't know if you're okay with that?
No, here's what we're gonna do: is we're gonna have like 6 people. We're gonna have like 6 or 7 people, and it's gonna be like esports, or some people are gonna like tap out so we can go get food or water real quick or something. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have an SRM gaming. We're gonna have an SRM gaming roundtable.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be like, yo, tap me in. Like, yeah, go tap me out. I gotta go get some pizza real quick. So somebody else come sit down. It would be perfect.
Nah, that's what Uber Eats and waiters for. We're gonna have 4 people on it the entire time.
All right.
If you want to take a nap, you put your head down and go to sleep.
Yeah, everybody just watches you take a nap. That would be awesome. That's like all the podcast is just watching you take it. That's actually pretty creepy, to be honest with you.
I'm sure there's streamers that do that. I mean, there's streamers that just eat.
Yeah, I've been on a stream and this guy like fell asleep in the stream, and I didn't know if I should keep watching to see if he would wake up, or I was like, no, this is creepy. So I got off. I was like, what? It was like 4 a.m. and he fell asleep. Like, it was so funny. It was the funniest thing ever.
Jeez. All right, guys.
That's crazy.
Well, this is the end of our podcast. Thank you guys for watching.
We'll see you next year.
Make sure if you have management experience, you use that apply link in chat. Make sure you come buy our merch at shop.srm.com. Maybe, is that right?
Happy holidays.
Follow us here on our Twitch. Happy holidays.
I don't know if that's right. Just go to srmgaming.org and hit shop.
Follow us on here. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Twitter.
What a host.
Oh, Colton's putting it.
Yes. All the links in chat from Colton.
Yeah,
follow us on here. If you scroll down, you can see all our panels. We got a YouTube. Join our Discord. Join our Discord. We like to talk to new people. We like talking to new people all the time. Me and TrX talk to everybody that joins 100% of the time.
We mostly just talk to each other, and
Yeah.
every now and again somebody joins and we annoy them a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like what people do is like when me and you start talking, a bunch of people get on and they just watch our conversation. They just look at it and just start reading it.
Amelia and Katie definitely hate
That's
us.
spooky. See, that's just weird.
Dude, well, we got some good conversations. You should join the Discord.
Drop
It's
the
basically-
snap for him.
honestly-
Oh, bro, there you go. Add that
snap.
Snapchat.
It's
Do
no
not
fun if
add
you don't
that
join the
Snapchat.
conversation.
Add that Snapchat, and also, hold up. Is the SRM Gaming Snapchat just SRM Gaming?
I think so.
I'm checking.
It's your job.
No, Colton put it in.
SRM Gaming CA. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Colton
add those
put it
2 Snapchats.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow
Yeah.
here on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the new year.
Bro,
Happy
if I,
holidays,
get
everyone.
if I get like 100 Snapchat notifications, I'm gonna be a little bit mad.
Everybody go spam that Snapchat right now.
Sounds like fun. Let's do that.
Malid, you
it's
don't
gonna
even
be
have
a lot of fun.
Snapchat.
Yeah, I do. If I download it on my phone.